Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Harry Muppet. Welcome back to game number 4 of the second semi-final series of the Red Bull Battlegrounds New York. So really getting close in there, close to the grand finals. We will be casting the grand finals right after this, and then we're going to finish it off with the third place match. We're going to see Parting, the Protoss player from SK Telecom T1. He's already in the grand finals. MC, the Protoss player from SK Gaming, is currently set up to match into the third place match, but we're still going to decide who their opponents are going to be. We do have Scarlett up the top right side of the map as the Blue Zerg. She is from Team Acer and she's currently up 2-1. She was up 2-0 but did suffer a defeat in game number 3, and that's got to have rattled her a little bit. And up the top left side of the map is SOS, the Protoss player from Jin Air Green Wings. I did actually notice in his profile that he's only moved to Jin Air Green Wings. It was like the 13th of December or something. So at the time of this tournament, he was with Wungjing Stars, I believe. I'll just double check that, but I believe he was. And yes, so he is at the time of this tournament casting. He was in that team, but since then he has moved to Jin Air Green Wings. So if anybody has been commentating on the first game, putting comments down saying that's not the team he's actually in, I know, alright, I know. I am not. It's all a bit of confusion, that's fine. But anyway, moving on, here we've got a probe, and he's scouting a hatchery going down, so very exciting. Scarlett, for I think one of the first times, has chosen not to go for an early spawning pool. She's going for a hatch pool, and she is going to be paying for it because, hello, look at that. There's actually a couple of pylons going down. SOS going for a cannon rush, and it's not a good play right there. So we're going to see this cancelled, and Scarlett actually going for the third base, I feel like. Or maybe she's going to go straight for the third base. But yeah, actually saw the second pylon get cancelled, so the cannon does go down. And yeah, there we go, hatchery going down here. She probably will cancel this at the very last second, just so this cannon can't get cancelled. So the cannon goes down and then she'll cancel it. So it doesn't allow SOS to cancel the cannon, and he has to waste an extra bit of minerals. Here comes the drone coming around. And this is actually a habitation planet, or habitation station I think it's called. So the same map where Scarlett had that insane game versus Bomber, game number 3 in their round of 8 match. Now here we go, a bunch of drones, and Scarlett did not actually cancel this. So that is going to be 200 minerals that she is never going to see again, because I don't think she can save that thing. She's going to have enough trouble saving this thing, and the drone's going for the cannon. They're trying to take it down, but there are 2 cannons coming up, and here's a third, and the probe is just like, he's totally got the evil little laugh going on, but there are a bunch of Lings coming out, and their DPS will be quite helpful, but this base, man, is just done. It's just done for. Here we go. One cannon goes down. The other one is being attacked. The Lings actually are trying to attack stuff, but it's not going to happen. There we go. The cannons have to go down, and I think they will be able to take the third one down, although there's only one Ling left, so that's going to really suck down the DPS that is available for this thing. Probe coming down as well, and it's all up to the drones to try and take this out, but the Lings both have DPS on this thing. I think Scarlett has got it here, but how much has she lost taking this thing down? Actually got Broodlings attacking the cannon, man, but they do go down, so it's a bit unfortunate. And Scarlett on the back foot early in this game. Pressure from SOS on her expansion and her third base, and I'm still really surprised that she didn't cancel this. I suppose she just wanted the lava while it was being built, but yeah, it's a bunch of minerals that she's never going to see again. But she is going for a third base, so we have a look at the income. Looks like SOS is ahead. He's got a nice base up, nice and early on his expansion. He's got his gateway coming up, his very first gateway, but he does have double gas on the main base. He's mining 3 probes on each one, so he's getting his gas income is really nice at the moment. I don't know why he's got that much gas income, because he's well, I have no idea what he's going to be spending it on. Probably an early Stargate, because he loves his early Stargate play. And Scarlett, I think, is actually going to be quite weak in this position. It's going to be quite open to Oracle play right here. I mean, if you have a look, she's got 2 queens. She's got 1 there. Where's the other one? It's moving over to the third base. So no doubt there's going to be a third queen up there. And that at least is going to be one Oracle at each base. Here come the Lings, but they're just going to be sitting outside. Probably a good idea. Zealot going to be moving out probably for the Watchtower. The Lings, I'm not sure if they saw each other, but here we go. The Lings actually following the Zealot or just sort of running past him. They were going for the Watchtower and the Zealot's like, no, mine. You can't have it, it's mine. So yes, guys, it's actually quite interesting. You notice on the map, the pylon is a big dot and the cannon is a little dot. You see it over here as well. The cannon's a little square, the pylon's a big square. So that's very interesting. I suppose pylons are more interesting, so they probably make them bigger, but who knows? Who knows why? Who knows why things are the way they are. So anyway, here we go. There is the Stargate. The Overlord does see it. I'd be very surprised if they didn't. SOS in a beautiful position to hold the Watchtower against a bunch of Lings, and SOS going for a fast third on the gold expansion. So he's looking like he's in a very good position. I mean, Scarlett has had the gold for so much longer, and that is going to help her out with the income. She's got a great income right now, and her worker numbers are not too shabby. She's definitely caught up. So now she needs to start pumping out a lot of units to start to deal with all this stuff. We do have a bunch of spore crawlers going down. We got a queen, we got a queen, we got queen, we got queens everywhere. Need a spore crawler down here though, because that's a bit open. We do have the mothership coal coming around, but that'll get knocked back fairly soon. We do have roaches coming out for Scarlett, so she must have been listening to me last game when I said that roaches were potentially a good counter to Archons, but unfortunately they're not a very good counter versus Void Raids, and that is what's coming out from SOS. So probably playing by the same playing book that you had last time. The only difference is, of course, the Fleet Beacon, which I've not seen before. So that's a number of different things could be coming out. We do, of course, have the Tempests, which are potentially going to be quite good, but I don't know, man. I mean, their mass attack, I think it only works against Broodlords, so they won't be able to do any extra damage versus Corruptors and versus Muters, so maybe not all that good. We do, of course, have a number of upgrades for the Void Rays and for the Phoenix range, I think, is still an upgrade that you can produce, so that would be awesome. And of course a mothership, a fully fledged mothership, which I'm not sure how effectual that's going to be, but you know what? Let's just see if it happens. And the single Void Ray out is going to be absolutely integral, absolutely fantastic for dealing with this massive amount of roaches. Although the fact is there are a massive amount of roaches, and man, SOS is going to have to deal with them somehow. The force fields are only going to last so long, and these guys are going to come up, actually cutting a bunch of them off here. These two roaches suddenly find themselves deep in enemy territory. We do have one sentry at this base. We do have a bunch of cannons, so this may be able to hold it off here. Or we do have double force fields here on the roaches. Unfortunately, man, there's just no air vision for Scarlett at the moment. If she had an Overlord or an Overseer or something, she could start whacking out pylons, and that might be a very good thing. But unfortunately, does not have that stuff. She needs some Hydras. She's getting some Hydras. And this is going to start to look pretty good, because I think her income is quite good and her army size is quite good. She's actually bumped out a lot of them, but they're all very low cost sort of, yeah, very low level sort of units. But when there's enough of them, they can really do a lot. And here we go, the Tempest getting in range of the Hydras, not where he wanted to be. And just more and more Hydras coming out. We do have an attack going on here, a couple of Zealots getting owned by Queen, so they really didn't do that much. We still do have a cannon up here. The Hydras are going to have to shred this cannon nice and fast. There they go, going to take it out. And the Tempest, man, two Tempests just using the range to their advantage. They are quite slow though, so if the Hydras catch them out even a little bit, they are going to go down quite badly. And here come the roaches coming in, but there's 6 cannons and they're all trapped. Oh man, so the roaches are going to be taking a ton of damage right here. So many cannons. They're only powered by 2 pylons though, but I don't think the roaches are going to have any chance of actually destroying those pylons. They're just trying to push in, but there's so many static defenses, and Scarlett, man, just does not have enough to really deal with this. Of course, SOS can build as many standard defenses as he wants, because he's got the gold. He's got the gold, he's doing a beautiful job, and Scarlett's play of trying to build out Roach Hydra and trying to go for some early attacks is just being thrown back in her face by this huge amount of income, this huge amount of cannons that SOS is throwing up, and the Tempests are just an absolute pain in the ass. She needs to get some Corruptors ASAP, and that is exactly what she's going to be doing. Tempest coming out though, SOS building a fantastic amount of them, and Scarlett has to go in and out, because of course she cannot allow the Tempest to get in range of these workers. She has to counter with the Hydras, but I don't know, man. She's not countering at the moment. The Hydras are running for it. I don't know where the hell they're going. They can't reach the Tempest from the high ground. They're going to have to go down there, but who knows? They're actually outranging the Spore Crawlers, and here we go. The Tempest running for it, and Scarlett has no opportunity to take these guys out. She desperately needs some Corruptors to deal with these guys. The Corruptors do more damage, I think, than the Tempest. Of course, they don't have as much range, but Scarlett, man, losing so many workers. I mean, she can just build as many as she wants, though. I mean, she can just totally own these guys, and here we go. The Spy is almost down. Here we go. Zealot's coming in. Actually, not going to be able to take out the hatchery. I think Scarlett is going to be able to save it, but with a pylon over there, just needs to warp it a couple more to take it out. It is so low on the health, and all the drones have just run the hell out of there, or maybe they were killed. There's quite a lot have been killed by SOS so far, and the Tempest count is starting to reach ridiculous proportions right here. Actually going for Mutas, so not Colossus, which are Corruptors, which I find a bit surprising, but maybe Corruptors do take the bonus damage. Maybe they count as massive units, because you got to remember, these guys do bonus damage to massive units versus air. Maybe Corruptors count as massive units, in which case it would be suicide to get them, but Scarlett deciding to go for Mutas, and you know what? If she can make them work against the Tempest, then good for her. I mean, that would be fantastic. Here we go, 8 Tempest, so she's going to need a crap load of Mutas to take them out. And then the fact is the Tempest, well, they can outrange the Mutas, but they cannot outrun the Mutas. The Mutas will chase them down, they will hunt them down, and they will just own them all over the place. And here we go. Scarlett, man, she has a probe infestation, a pylon infestation, and she has to start taking them out. Moving a couple of Hydras up here to see these forces. Great job. Keeping an eye on what's going on, and she's going for like Queen Hydra or something like that, and the Queens definitely are bulky enough to be able to survive storms, so that's definitely an improvement on what she was doing last time. Oh, unpowered 3 Stargates with 1 probe. The Muta's taken a lot of damage from the Tempest though, and the Tempest, it doesn't matter that they don't do a lot of damage when there's a lot of them. Oh, they just start shredding everything. Scarlett would need like 2 to 3 Mutas to take these guys out, and she actually needs to just commit to an attack to really get in range, because she takes so much damage just getting in range of the damn things that basically she has to have enough, and she has to commit to an attack. If she just sort of moves in and then doesn't commit and blah 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 blah, then she's going to start taking some damage. Oh, the DT, look at this guy, man, going nuts on the hatchery, and Scarlett is just, oh man, she's going to be so pissed off at the moment. She is going to be spitting nails right now, and I would not like to be SOS right now, because I do believe that Scarlett is just going to get up and just absolutely bitch slap him after this game is over, because this is going to be bad play around here. Not bad play, but this is just going to be, oh man, you'd be so frustrated. So frustrated right now. Finally getting some Corruptors out, but it may be too little too late. The Mutas are getting demolished right here, and SOS bringing out counter after counter. The Tempest, man, there's just so many of them out on the field. Still only 8, but 8 is a massive amount, and the range on these guys and the control that SOS has had over them, always just running whenever he sees the Hydras in range, and then just shooting them when the Hydras are out of range, because they're using the range to his advantage. I mean, it's such a great play, but it's so frustrating. It's just so and look at this, more Zealots coming in, trying to save this base. I think Scarlett will be able to. You can see the Zealots going for the drones instead of the base, but oh man. Oh man. Another pylon bites the dust there. We have a look at their tallies for a sec. Scarlett 5 workers ahead, but income-wise, yeah, it's kind of okay. She's still okay. But she needs to find a solid counter for all of the things that SOS is throwing at her. We got Storms out on the field right now. We do have Storm Research. What did SOS get out of the Fleet Beacon? I feel like this is the Phoenix range upgrade. So that's pretty insane. And these Phoenix are pretty insane, man. No Spore Crawlers over there. Instantly she builds 2. I mean, better late than never, am I right? But here we go. The Zealots coming in. And here's another reason you need the Spore Crawler there, but... oh, where are the Overseers, man? She's got to have a few of them, but they're just not here. And the Zealot, owning everything. There we go, morphing in an Overseer over there. The Phoenix going around, hunting down the Corruptors. It's supposed to be the other way, but there are just too many Phoenix on the field, and they're just doing too good of a job at wiping out everything, man. Scarlett is she's expanding so fast, but she keeps forgetting to build the Spore Crawlers at all the bases she expands to, and at this point, I don't think they would probably do anything. There we go, 2 more Spore Crawlers comes up. Better late than never. But here we go. I mean, I think at this point, it doesn't matter if there's Spore Crawlers. There's just too many Phoenix doing too much damage. And if we have a look, her income has been just crushed down again. I mean, she's got a ton of gas coming in, because she is going for a ton of mutas, ton of Corruptors. But look at this, man. Look at this. Bunch more Zealots going out. Gonna have a crack over here. But Scarlett is going to go in. She may finally take out this base, but I don't know, man. Mutas going anywhere near this many cannons, I feel like it's a very, very bad idea. And there they come, the Phoenix going nuts. I mean, there's a decent amount of Corruptors there, but the Phoenix, they got the range, they got the damage. How is their damage anyway? They currently got 2 damage, 2 weapons on the air, 1 on the ground, so great job on SOS getting that 2 damage in the air. And Scarlett, meanwhile, has 1 air attack and 1/1 for her Hydralisks. So pretty nice there, but she has really not made any sort of solid push against an enemy base in I don't know how long. She's been trying, but she never quite gets there. I don't know what I said, but it was totally wrong. And here we go. This Zealot totally on hold position, man, and it's totally not working out for him. Here come the Phoenix. Scarlett, man, you gotta running. You cannot running as here we go. The fungal going down, and these Phoenix are gonna start to die. Excellent job there by Scarlett getting the fungal, and that is exactly the sort of play that she needs to start making if she wants to make this work. But here come the main army. And managing to save those Phoenix, managing to push everything away. Let's have a look here. We still have 8 Tempest, but we got a bunch of Void Razor as well. We got a bunch of High Templar, all with full energy. Man, if it was against a Protoss, this would be a feedback of the year right there. Take 160 extra damage after they had already been dead, man. They would kill their ghost like 5 times over. Bunch of Zealots hitting stuff, that's cool. We had a bunch of stuff here as well, but I feel like, it was just Lings, so they got wiped out pretty easily. But the Zealots all over the place here. Queen's having to defend their base, but they're a little bit late to the party, and Scarlett's so on the back foot, man. She's got a ton of units, but I just do not know. I mean, she's got a Corruptor Infestor combination, which is great. She's got the Hydras, which are great, but with Storms on the field, I mean, SOS has been doing so much damage without even putting his main army out there. There we go, the base goes down. Scarlett, she seems to be just spread too thin. She's being attacked on opposite sides of the map, and she just cannot deal with it. Hydra has finally taken these guys out, but man, I mean, her creep spread is phenomenal as well. She's got 2/3 of the map covered with creep, and yet still her army takes ages to get from one side of the map to the other. But here we go, re-macroing that hatchery up again, and SOS going for a 5th base. He's very, very confident in this game. He's sitting back, he's happy with what he's got. He's getting a couple of Colossus out, he's getting every single unit he wants. It's not the units he needs, he's just getting out whatever the hell he wants and just running around and owning Scarlett. And Scarlett is just not doing that well. The Colossus, the Corruptor's running in, getting hit by cannons. Just nothing is working out for her this game. Absolutely nothing. She's got a ton of Hydras, they're getting owned by the force fields, and then the Tempests go to work, and it's just not happening for her. It's just not happening this game. And SOS has everything awesome. It's just awesome for him right now. And I mean, Hydras are probably the worst choice right now. So many Archons on the field, and they don't have the range to deal with the Tempest, so they're really not going to be able to do anything. And I really don't know what Scarlett can possibly do. She's continuing to build a ton of Hydras, but I don't think they're a good option. I do not know what is a good option right now. Mass Corruptor is the only thing I can possibly think of which can deal with this army, but all the Corruptors are getting taken out. So here we go, Storm's just going down the Hydras, and SOS just making it all work, making it all happen. And here we go, a bunch of Zealots coming in, the base is going to go down. And Scarlett's economy, I mean, she's been keeping it alive. I mean, she's been doing a fantastic job keeping her hatcheries alive. But her army, I mean, is a completely different matter. She's trying a flank there, but the flank just gets owned, both sides getting destroyed at the same time. And it's just too much high tech coming out from SOS. And the problem is, the entire game, Scarlett was chucking units into the meat grinder, and I mean, that says the tale right there. Resources lost 335,000 versus 17,000. So SOS, he got the high tech, and he kept his units alive, man. The Tempests, the Void Rays, the Colossus, the Archons, all that stuff, he barely lost anything. Most of what he lost was Zealots. But the high-tech units, he kept them alive. And Scarlett, she had a fantastic income, absolutely top-notch income, but she was throwing units into the meat grinder, constantly losing army after army after army. And I mean, what do you expect? You're throwing Hydras against Storms, you're throwing Hydras against Tempests. The enemy has all the advantages, and you have no advantage at all. So, of course, you're going to lose unit after unit after unit, and that is what happened. Scarlett, eventually, she just could not keep up, and had to lose the game. Had one last ditched effort, and she lost like 100 supply worth of units in like 5 seconds, man. So I really don't know. I think long term, SOS just got too much time to play, and Scarlett, maybe she just has to shut him down early game. But I mean, she tried to do that this game, and she had a huge amount of Roach Hydra early on when SOS had no units, and she ran into cannons on the high ground. She got owned. I mean, what can you possibly do against SOS? And the answer may be nothing. The answer may be concede and go on to the 3rd place against MC, because SOS seems to have found the weakness in Scarlett's game, which is I don't know if there's a weakness. I mean, it's just SOS has just been doing such a good job, man. And the cannons on the high ground early on bought him the time he needed to get the high-tech units, and he went for Tempest. He made it work, and Scarlett just could not make it work against it. She went Hydras, were not the right choice, and by the time she went into Corruptors, it was too late. SOS was in control. He had a beautiful economy, and he had a ton of high-tech units, and he was owning all over the place. So, yeah, Scarlett, I don't know what you can do in Game 5, but the ace match, but all I can think of is that you do not let SOS take it out this long. You've got to finish him off early. But she's tried. I mean, Game 3 she tried with, I think she tried Game 3 with a Bling Rush or something like that. Game 4, Roach Rush, it's not working. It's just not. So, Game 5 we'll have to see, because right now it's a must-win for both players. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in Game number 5, the ace match for this semi-final of the Red Bull Battleground New York. So stay tuned for that. This has been Hairy Muppet. I hope you enjoyed this game.